My name is Max Kinsella, and I'm here to share my story.
Thanks, Max, for being here with me today. Would you take us back to the beginning of your life and share with us some of your upbringing, where you came from? Yeah.
So, I kind of grew up in a pretty broken home, I guess you'd say. You know, my mom divorced twice by the time I could even remember anything.
Wow.
Kind of went through some adverse childhood experiences really early on. My mom ended up being addicted to meth. My dad was an alcoholic who was basically not present in my very early life. We moved around a lot, you know, just kind of one place to another place, and usually came with an eviction and not really like a planned move type stuff. I just remember from a really young age having like this restless, irritable discontent within me. You know, I didn't know who I was in this world. I didn't know what I was about. I just knew that I wanted to fit in. I wanted to belong and feel a part of something. And I didn't know that, you know, I was raised in poverty until I got to high school and noticed that I wasn't like all the kids around me. And so about that time, I really was just looking for something, anything to make me feel part of.
Absolutely.
And I met the stoner kids, the skater kids, you know, and instantly all the other stuff went aside. You know, how I dressed or where I lived, it wasn't important. You know, if we were gonna get stoned or drunk, you know, now we have common ground.
Yeah.
You know, I finally fit in somewhere.
You were actually looking for community.
Yeah. I was dying for community. And so that just started me off, you know, self-soothing through chemicals, whatever that looked like. But I was really afraid of alcohol and drugs at the same time because my parents were addicts. So I guess you could say I had this really established arrested development from a pretty early age. I avoided hard drugs for quite a while. But then later on, when I was 28, I was in California in sales, and I was very alone, very isolated. And one of my assistant managers offered me meth, and I did it. And all of a sudden, I felt like Superman. I felt smarter than everybody and faster than everybody. I could make sales and didn't have to sleep and just all this stuff, you know. And that's really where my life started to spiral downhill. And because I suffer from a progressive disease, you know, I had to keep filling that void with something stronger, more effective, more suitable, I guess you'd say.
And how long did you kind of keep that up where you thought, oh, I can do this, and it's a good thing, almost viewing it as a good thing? How long did you keep that up?
So I was high for the whole first year, and I was in sales, and I was able to make good money and keep doing it. And then eventually things just fell apart. I ended up on the streets in the Bay Area.
Wow.
And I ended up in a county jail there, ready to do 90 days. And they released me. They said, you can go to treatment. We're going to OR you. So I moved up to North Idaho, where my mom had found sobriety.
Okay.
And made a small shot at trying to get sober, and went back to the bar scene and quickly went back to meth. And it was up in Idaho where I fell into opiates pretty hard. I started using heroin, and then I tried to quit heroin with Suboxone, and then heroin went away, and then it was fentanyl. And I think it really came to a culmination in like September of 2022, September 15th, 2022. Me and my homegirl both went to different like trap houses to get high.
Okay.
And I woke up the next morning, I had overdosed. I couldn't find her for a couple of days. I knocked on her door on September 17th. Her dad answered and said she had overdosed as well and she was dead.
Oh.
And in my opinion, at that time, I was a bigger addict than she was, so I didn't think I had a chance. And I was 35 years old. Didn't think I had a chance at survival, and I was just kind of on a crash course with death. But a month and some change later, October 11, 2022, I was arrested. Almost went to prison for the first time. And I had watched this video on YouTube of this guy named Lance Orton. And it said, executive director used to be addicted to opiates. And I was like, whoa, and here was a guy that kind of like talked like me and had this charisma about him.
Yes.
And so I had filled my family in on my addiction because I didn't want them to find me dead. By now, my dad's found sobriety, my sister's found sobriety, my mom's found long-term sobriety.
Wow. Praise God, that's amazing. Yeah.
And I called my dad from a jail cell about to go to prison for the first time, but I really needed a bed date to get out and go to treatment. And I says, Dad, I think I would go to this place called City Team if I could. And he goes, that place is pretty rough, dude. My dad graduated here like 12 years ago. And so he goes, that place is pretty rough. And I said, no, you don't understand. There's this guy, Lance. He runs the place and he used to be addicted to heroin. And my dad says, dude, Lance is my friend.
Oh my gosh, you can't make this up.
No, he goes, Lance is my friend. We go to AA together.
Oh my God.
And I had a bed date here. I got released, I got a ward from there November 19th, 2022.
Wow.
I had 24 hours to get here. And yeah, I just held on to this thing. You know.
Wow. Okay, so when you got to Portland, what did it look like once you got here leading up to today?
So I had already detoxed off of opiates in jail. And so I didn't need any medically assisted treatment or anything. So I was a good fit for City Team. And I remember waking up on the mats my first morning, happy to be out of jail, but still pretty self-loathing. And then all of a sudden they turn the lights on and we're in a homeless shelter. And your first job when you get here is to mop the floors and clean up the mats and stuff. So instantly I was immersed in this like super high level of service that I had never really known before, because I was very self-centered when I was on my addiction. And pretty quickly I realized like I had a good gauge of how bad things could get if I went back to that lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know. And City Team gives you a big book and a Bible, and they give you all the tools and guides you need to kind of get through it, you know. And so I was about to become a sophomore, and people were talking about this night strike. Oh, we go to night strike on Thursday nights. I'm like, oh, what's that? You know, they're like, we feed people under the Burnside Bridge. It's awesome. And I started asking around about it. They're like, well, you got a few more weeks, right? And so I became a Mod 2, and I think January 30th, 2023 was my first night strike, and I instantly fell in love. They made me a security guard, and I just loved it, and it gave me something to do. And my job here in the house was I worked in kitchens before, so my job here in the house was in the kitchen as a kitchen lead. So between night strike and between being in the kitchen, you know, 5:30 in the morning till 7 o'clock at night, a couple days a week, it really made the time here go quickly.
Yeah.
And what ended up happening is they have this alpha program, and I ended up finding this faith that I really didn't want, right? I just wanted to get the law off my back and to go back to my life. And I discovered this person, Jesus, who really, I mean, just is the best thing to ever happen to humans, right? I mean, and yeah, so I just started engaging in more and more communities. I go to a lot of meetings. I went to a lot of meetings. I still go to a lot of meetings. I go to all different types of meetings.
So you went through the Alpha program.
I did.
Alpha is amazing.
It is.
It's oh my goodness, that's something that I would encourage anyone to go through. That is awesome. So
sure.
What does your life look like today? What are you doing today?
So I've been invited to be an intern again.
Awesome.
So things were getting shaky for me out there. I went back to smoking pot since I've been to City Team. I've got a year and 3 months off of weed now, so I'm still 100% sober.
Yeah.
But things were getting a little shaky out there for me, and so the leaders here, Lance, Mark, Gamboa, they were like, hey, why don't you come just do another internship? Help us out with Night Strike again. And it was almost like the Lord was just like the duh factor.
Isn't that, what you just said to me, that's the stuff that wrecks me. It's not this thought of we need to go out and fix these people, right? It's no, we want to know who they are, we want to know their name, and we want to walk alongside of people in their life. And so when I think about your story, how you had this incredible transformation and you created these relationships, and then you went out like anybody and goes out and experiences the hardships of life, because life is hard, and then you layer parents who were addicts, right? You layer what you've been through, you layer all that. And so then you experience life, you struggle, but then you have these incredible people like Lance and his team they say, nope, we're bringing you back in, you're coming back in.
Yeah.
I feel like as I hear your story, that is one of the most valuable things that you have said. It's just that we need to remember that we're all doing this life together, and we're continuously walking it out, right?
Yeah.
And we have to be okay in the not okay. We have to be willing to offer support and love to those, but we also have to be willing to receive it and be humble enough to say, I am struggling right now, and I am going to come back in, right?
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. Okay, so I have 2 more questions for you.
Okay.
Number 1, if you could say anything to the community of Portland and outskirts of Portland, maybe even all of Oregon, looking into specifically, Multnomah County, Portland, and everything that's happening here with your story and all that you've experienced, and what is something in your heart that you would want to share with the community of Portland and beyond?
That healing from fentanyl is very possible, but I do have kind of an unpopular opinion, because Mark, one of the guys who runs this place, he says when the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change, then something's going to happen, right? And I can honestly tell you, my first higher power was a prison sentence. I was afraid of going to prison. And I got caught with a meth pipe in North Idaho. That was enough for me to go to prison there, right? And in that, because I say all the time, like, I'm so lucky that I wasn't just a little bit better at doing drugs. Oof. If I was a little bit better at doing drugs, if I got caught a little bit less doing illegal stuff, I'd probably still be riding a bike with a backpack full of stolen goods.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think that it's the hardship that's a pathway to peace, right? So yeah, if I could say anything to Portland, I would say that, sometimes our greatest glories are found in our lowest lows, right? When we emerge back out of something very hard, it makes us stronger. It does. It makes us, it just makes us more fit for this world, because this world is hard,
Has anyone ever told you should be a pastor?
No.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I
That's
see
cool.
you in leadership, and
Thank you.
you have a natural pastoral gift in you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. And finally, if you could share a dream that maybe you had as a child, and that, because of life and what you've been through, maybe that was a dream you thought never could happen, or maybe you have a dream today, personally, for, your brothers and sisters on the streets, any dream, there's no rules, for the future, what would that be?
I mean, my dream, I guess, for the people in the community and for the future of this city that I love, is that we break down this feeling of otherness, right? Like this feeling of otherness and this apathetic viewpoint to our life is the most dangerous thing for us. We have to, like you said, walk beside people until they can walk themselves. Right? We have to not let people feel so out on the margins, right? Because they're all people too. No matter, even if they're suffering an addiction in a tent, like they still have the same value to God.
Absolutely.
Right? And they still bear the image of God. So we have to, my dream is that we find a way to merge what we're trying to do in the city with the faith of the city, with the strength of everything, right? We don't need, we need to take the pressure off of services and law enforcement, things like that, right? We need people that want to go into the margins, grassroots, and to lift people up.
Yeah, the word talks about that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the harvest is full, but the workers are few. When you were talking, I thought of this analogy that someone shared with me that has stuck with me for my own personal sobriety. If you think about a road, and this is often shared in the world of sobriety recovery, we're all on this road, same road, right? Some of us might be farther along in our sobriety, some might be farther back, but we're all the same distance to the ditch. we're all equal, right?
Yeah.
And specifically in the eyes of God. And I think about that in life, in general, in life. Like all of us are on different parts of that journey, but we are all the same distance from the ditch. And so it's just a sobering reminder to remember that, none of us are better than anyone else. And most often when you hear these hard stories, I can't tell you how many times I hear that this was something people are almost born into. So just getting to know people and know their stories, that's the stuff that breaks our heart wide open for the stuff that breaks God's heart. So Max, you're amazing. I am so excited to see all that God is going to do in your life. I feel like I see it, and I'm excited to know you now and get to know you more and get to see all that God is going to do in your future. So thank you for sharing your story today.
Yeah, thank you so much.